All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We got to talk about a story out of Mississippi where a news anchor by the name of Barbie Bassett was fired from her position at WLBT News for saying "for Shizzle, my Nizzle" while promoting a Snoop Dogg product. In my opinion, there was no harm, no foul. I mean, you talk about Snoop Dogg here. That is literally his most famous catchphrase, "for Shizzle, my Nizzle." But leading up to her getting fired for what she just said recently, there was also an incident back in, I believe, 2022 where she used the term grandmammy or mammy. So let's take a look at that so we could get the full scope of what happened leading up to her getting fired.
Okay, but Carmen, girl, sis, I know you well enough to know that those guys working behind you, they probably know who the celebrity game day picker is. So you need to go swing by the Kroger's, get you a chocolate pie.
A chocolate pie. A chocolate pie.
Well, pecan pie would be just as fine. And you need to go offering it to some of those guys working behind you.
And get the scoop.
And see if you can get the scoop from one of those for return. I know your mother or your grandmammy has got some type of recipe that you could whip up, don't you think?
Really,
Take
Mom?
it to them.
Grandmammy?
They might have a recipe or two. Go whip something up.
All right, guys, so you heard that. That was her first strike, and I think that happened in October 2022, if I'm not mistaken. But that, to me, is more controversial than saying "for Shizzle, my Nizzle," and in reference to Snoop Dogg at that. The word mammy is very triggering to a lot of black people. That's the whole reason why Aunt Jemima isn't on the syrup bottle anymore, because of the mammy caricature. Mammy was typically a big black woman who took care of white people's kids as a means of employment, you know, for work. But just to provide a little expanded context on that word, the Irish mammy is a thing, and the Irish mammy pretty much did the same things that the black mammy did, except for she did it for her own family. They use the word mammy in Scotland, you know, Wales. They use it in other places as well. And I'm sure even some white people in America might even call their grandmother's grandmammy. When you're talking about the South, you know, the Southern slang and the way Southern people talk is, you know, is very unique to them. So there might even be white people who say that word. But nonetheless, of course, she had to get on the news the next day and apologize. So let's take a look at this clip.
Last Friday on our newscast today at 11, I used a term that was offensive to many in our audience and to my coworkers here at WLBT. And though it was not intentional, I now understand how both my comment was insensitive and hurtful. And I have apologized to Carmen Poe. And now I would like to apologize to you, because that is not the heart of who I am. And for that, I humbly ask you for your forgiveness. And I apologize to everyone I have offended. I will learn from this, and I will participate in training so I can better understand our history and our people. I cannot mend the hurt that my comment caused, but I pray that you will forgive me and that you'll extend grace through my awful mistake.
Now, look, I know that was her apology to give, not mine, but I think she made a mistake in saying that it was pain and hurt that she caused. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was in pain, in actual hurt or in actual pain. People just got outraged. There was more people triggered than actually in pain or really hurt. In America, I know black people done been through a lot. I get it, but I just think the way we gatekeep some of these words and hold on to them, and whenever someone says it or we hear something, we just allow ourselves to get in the outrage. I don't think that's very healthy, to be honest. And I don't think Barbie, I don't think she was saying it in a way to offend at all. By the way she was saying girl and all this stuff, I think she was just trying to be cool with the lady. I mean, they work together. I don't think she meant that at all in a derogatory way. So let's move forward to the present day. And this is where we're going to see her saying "for Shizzle, my Nizzle." And this is what got her fired. Let's roll the clip.
Rapper Snoop Dogg is getting deeper into the wine business. He teamed up with the Australian wine brand 19 Crimes about 3 years ago to produce a red wine called Snoop Cali Red. And now he's expanding the line to include white wine. It's called Snoop Cali Blanc. And Snoop Dogg says there's nothing better.
Well, he hadn't tried anything for Julie Leavenway yet.
I agree with that.
You know how Snoop and Martha Stewart get
Had
together?
a collaboration, yes.
He ought to have a collaboration with Julie. No telling what Snoop Dogg and Julie Leavenway could come up with.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Before we know it, she'd have a Snoop Dogg tattoo on her shoulder.
For Shizzle, my Nizzle.
I'm telling you. Julie, what do you think about that? Huh.
Well, get this. A fun fact.
Oh, man. You could just see the look. You could tell how uncomfortable both of these dudes were standing next to her. Like, did she really just say that? I mean, look, we talking about Snoop Dogg here. Snoop, D-O-double-G. Snoop Dogg. That is his catchphrase. I don't think that should matter whether it's coming out of the mouth of a white person, a Mexican person, an Asian person, a black person. Who cares? For Shizzle my Nizzle. She didn't even really say the word. We know what Nizzle is supposed to mean, but she didn't even say the real N-word. She said for Shizzle my Nizzle. Some people will be outraged over anything. It's just no winning. You know, the situations like these make Scott Adams just seem 100% right. Like it seems like she trying to be cool. She trying to be, you know, down with the culture and this and that or whatever, and just, you know, like crack fun, make little jokes, be lighthearted. But look at what happened. I definitely don't think this was grounds to be terminated, but if enough people cry racism or cry outrage over something, then, you know, that could actually cost you your job. And for a while, I've thought about it like this. If the word is so bad, then why should anyone be saying it at all? To pretend that black people are actually successfully gatekeeping this word is just nonsense. I grew up in a multicultural environment. Black people, Mexicans, whites, you know, a few Asians, and everybody was saying the word. Everybody. You go to rap concerts, who the majority of people in the crowd? White people. White people not stopping at the N-word when these rappers just be blurting it out in their songs. They gonna say it too. Everybody says this word in reality, but in public, on TV, if you a white person, you can't get anywhere near this word. You can't even say Nizzle. I would love to hear what Snoop Dogg has to say about this. A rapper who has been rapping in front of crowds of white people for years who repeat the N-word right in front of him when he says it in his songs. But I'm going to leave the video here. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe on your way out the door. And until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.